What is going on, Panther Lair? Today we are talking about the impact of losing Damian Dunn and what that means for the Pittsburgh Panthers over the next 6 weeks approximately. Now, on the offensive side of things, I think they're a little bit further along in terms of figuring out what they want to do in the wake of losing Dunn. Jalen Lowe, Ishmael Leggett, they're probably going to step up their field goal attempts, step up their scoring. Brandon Cummings, Amsel Delilich. Those guys are a little further along offensively than defensively, and they bring enough to the table in that rotation where I think they'll probably be able to figure that out sooner than later. It's the defensive side of things. I think that they're going to have to really figure things out because they do not have a replacement for Dunn. He wore a lot of hats, did a lot of different things, and I think this is where Pitt is going to take a hit. I have two sequences here. Let's take a look at why. So this is a game against the Murray State Racers. One of the things that makes Dunn so good is he was the communicator on the back line here, and especially amongst the guards. So a lot of teams through different switching, exchanging, twirling, twist actions around off-ball screens, and it was really on Dunn to communicate switches or when they weren't going to switch. And so you'll see that here. This player is going to twist inside of this stagger, and then he's going to twirl back here, and it's going to require communication between Dunn and Leggett. And Dunn is going to call out this switch. So he recognizes it. Leggett is kind of like lagging behind a little bit. No big deal. But Dunn says, hey, you take my guy, I'll take your guy. Calls that out right there. And then fights over this off-ball screen. Purposefully tries to get low. Tries to be able to get around quickly. And helps draw an offensive foul. Now let's take a look at an example of recognizing off-ball movement in Pitt's most recent game against the Wisconsin Badgers. So I actually broke down some of this off-ball cutting, like guard-to-guard type of screening after the VMI game. Kind of showed up a little bit in forms here in the Wisconsin game. But see, this is going to be classic split action. Ball goes in the post, screening up top. And look at Delilich here. Now, I really like him offensively. I think he's going to be able to fill that void, hopefully in a playmaking capacity as well offensively. But he recognizes that this player here, this is actually a really good move by the Badgers player here because he's signaling like, hey, for Tanji to come this way, as if this is going to be kind of like this double stagger. Maybe he's just going to get a DHO here, you know, maybe take a 3 in the corner or something like that. So Delilich is kind of frozen on this action. Meanwhile, Tanji is just cut behind this off of this like split action, and he never really moves his head until Tanji catches the ball. So you see that. So now finally, now this is it's impossible for him to play this. Leggett's the low man here, but you can't help that much out of the weak side corner. And, you know, this is part of, you know, Wisconsin getting some easy baskets. So I don't think Delilich is a bad defender, but he's not Damian Dunn. I don't think Brandon Cummings is a bad defender, but he's not Damian Dunn. And I think his ability, Dunn that is, to recognize off-ball action, tendencies, what teams are trying to do, and appropriately communicate those things, that is not something Pitt's going to have going forward. They're going to have to figure that out. It's probably going to happen maybe 3-4 games later. Pitt has 3 road games coming up. So this is going to be a real big test. Offensively, think they're going to be fine. Defensively, I think we have to wait and see.